Okay, we good now. What is going on, my FTGU gang, my from the ground up people, my fans of the MVPs and the Skybox Podcast? What is going on? I'm here solo today to talk about something that's kind of been, I don't want to say bugging me, but it's kind of been on my mind the last couple of days. And it's a hot topic in sports right now, controversial topic in sports right now, and even just on the web. And it's a very controversial topic in the black community. And what I'm speaking about is Kyrie Irving and the link that he shared and all the backlash he's getting from the link. And I'm here to explain why. Because I've been seeing claims, and it's honestly ridiculous. I've been seeing claims like that the NBA is punishing Kyrie for just being pro-black, which is I'm sorry. It's so ridiculous that I almost cussed. It's asinine. It really is. In the NBA is probably at minimum. I don't have the exact stat in front of me, but at minimum, 75% black. They have stood with the black community numerous times. When the George Floyd thing happened, their athletes were the first to speak out on it. Did they get suspended? I don't think so. How about when the Kenosha shooting happened and the Bucks had a scheduled game for that day and it just didn't show up? They boycotted the game, stayed home. I didn't hear anything about any fines. I didn't hear anything about anyone getting suspended. I didn't hear the NBA try to come out and make them look like bad people. None of that. So what makes Kyrie special? LeBron has came out more all the time, every chance he gets. Honestly, the more than an athlete movement, all that. Him and KD have both spoke out on that. Does that make them wrong? All right, why is the NBA not getting rid of them? I'm pretty sure that's pro-black. Pretty sure that's uplifting black people. But y'all trying to tell me Kyrie got suspended for being pro-black? He got suspended. Y'all trying to act like, and then what I've been seeing online is a lot of people have been misled by the title of the book or movie, whatever you want to do. And it's called, the link that he shared to the book is called Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, which is very misleading by the title. It makes you think, oh, he's just promoting a book saying that black people were the true Israelites of the Christian Hebrew times. And, that's it. They try to make it seem like that was all he said. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you subscribe to the fact that Christians or black people are the true Israelites of the Bible, or whatever this book claims, because they said the Bible is a bunch of propaganda, so I don't want to say Bible. Yeah, I don't know if you knew that, but the book claims the Bible is just propaganda made by Christians and Jews to enslave black people. Even though if you do a little bit of history about the Bible, Christianity's roots come back way down the line to African descents of people. There's Africans that did practice Judaism and things like that, but there's people of all walks of the earth that practice all religions. But that's another story for another day. I really just want to come here today to kind of put some more light on the situation and then give my opinion. So I want to start by, if I find it here, give me a second. I want to start by reading a review of this movie that Kyrie shared, and by the Rolling Stone. And I don't know about you guys, but that seems like a credible source to me. That don't seem like some Joe Blow on social media just trying to claim some things. So, but before I get into that, I just want to lay the ground. So anyway, Kyrie Irving, the last few days, posted a tweet or a link of a tweet or whatever to the movie Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. And in this review that I'm finna read to you guys, it points out plenty of times that it was anti-Semitic, had falsehoods, so basically the book wasn't even 100% true. It was just things that people believed or extremist black groups wanted to push. And Kyrie, which if I know Kyrie like I know Kyrie, he wants to be so woke. He thinks he's so thoughtful. He thinks he's this deep thinker. And if you've watched a lot of Kyrie's interviews and stuff, he's not as deep as he tries to be. In all honesty, man, I love the brother. I support him. He's another fellow black man, and I never want to see him be harmed or hurt, but he's an idiot. He really is. I mean, he thinks he's so woke. He's on this Kanye stuff. And what I've been seeing is a lot of you who stand by Kanye, stand by Kyrie. I just want to know real quick, and it's off topic, but for all you that stand with Kanye, did we forget that he said slavery was a choice? Did we forget that he was just standing with Candace Owens, a very known public person who might be considered a coon, standing with her wearing a White Lives Matter 2 shirt? We're just going to forget all of that. But that's besides the point. But anyway, Kyrie shared that link, and it was pointed out in the Rolling Stone thing that I'm going to read to you guys. It had plenty of anti-Semitic and false. Key in on that. I think a lot of you are missing that. False hoods about the European Jews and how black slave trade came. Let me just read this. It'll probably take me like 5 minutes. It's fairly long. Kyrie Irving boosts anti-Semitic movie Peddling Jewish Slave Ships by John Blistine. Hours before another Brooklyn Nets loss on Thursday, noted free thinker and basketball player Kyrie Irving took to Twitter to boost a movie and book Heroes to Negroes stuffed with anti-Semitic tropes. The 2018 film was directed by Ronald Deaton and based upon his 2015 book of the same name. A description for the film states that it uncovers the true identity of children of Israel, while a similar one for the book reads, since the European Arab slave traders stepped foot into Africa, blacks have been told lies about their heritage. Both suggest Heroes to Negroes espouse ideas in line with the most extreme factions of black Hebrew Israelites, which have a long history of misogyny, homophobia, xenophobia, Islamophobia, and especially anti-Semitism. Now keep that in mind. This is the people that Kyrie has aligned himself with by sharing that link to that book. They are accused of all these things. And they're an extremist black Israelite group, which means they will do whatever they can to push their narrative. Let me continue reading. The Black Hebrew Israelite movement is fairly broad, compromising organizations that the Anti-Defamation League operates independently. The movement generally coincides around the notion that black people are the real descendants of ancient Israelites, with more extreme factions claiming that black people have been robbed of their identity being God's chosen people. It's those extremist sects that have often parodied classic anti-Semitic tropes like claiming European Jews, often referred to as the synagogue of Satan, wield outsized control over, especially in industries like the banking and the media. They've also pushed anti-Semitic claims that Jews are responsible for slavery and the euphemising of black men. At one point in the perpetrated documentary, Irving shared, Dalton, who also narrates the film, brings up the real truth about slave trades. He claims that when teaching slavery, schools don't mention the involvement of the Catholic Church, Arab, East African, or Islamic trade slavers. The Jewish slave ships that brought our West African, Negro, or Bantu ancestors to slave ports owned by Jews. Immediately after, Dalton pivots to the mass media, calling it the biggest tool of indoctrination, brainwashing, and propaganda that the world has ever seen, and adding that it's been helping Satan deceive the world. This is what Kyrie's standing by. I'm gonna keep reading. Well, so I lost my spot. Here we go. Has been this and added that Satan has been helping Satan deceive the world for centuries. To back up his claim, Dalton utilizes a fabricated quote that's been a staple of anti-Semitic literature for decades. The quote, which details the supposed control Jews have over every facet of society, is attributed to Aaron Rosenthal, an aide to former New York Senator Jacob Javits, who was killed in a terrorist attack in Istanbul in 1976. The quote first appeared 2 years later, published in a pamphlet called The Hidden Tyranny by a man named Walter White Jr., who appeared to make up an entire interview with Rosenthal to push his anti-Semitic theories. You see this? Everyone that comes into contact with these things that Kyrie has unknowingly pushed in this link that he showed has been named either false or conspiracy theorist. Like, none of these people have solid facts to back up anything. There's no sources, there's no bibliography to this movie. There's nothing. You can't go find this on the web. This is just a man saying these things happened. And if you believe they happened, that's fine. I'm not going to condemn you for that. I too personally think, not to the extremes that they have, but I too personally think that black people are the true children of Israelite, or true children of God, and we are the true Israelites. But you don't have to be anti-Semitic to push that. Okay, sorry, I was just finding my spot here. In introducing the phony quote, Dalton pointedly describes Rosenthal as an Ashkenazi Jew. Hebrews to Negroes, the book contains even more instances of anti-Semitism. The book's fourth chapter, When Did Racism Towards Blacks Start?, starts by falsely suggesting that anti-black racism can be traced back to key Jewish texts. Western education and religion tries to teach the world that blacks are cursed with their skin color by the curse of Ham, Canaan. This is also taught in a European Jewish document and in the teachings of Talmud book in Judaism. Some can say that it's even established the base for black racism even before the KKK. Another section wonders if there is any connection between Lucifer, Satan, Freemasonry, and Judaism, and includes the claim, interesting enough, in earlier years, many Jews and European Scottish York Freemasons have claimed they worship Satan or Lucifer. So you see what I'm saying, man? Kyrie's pushing a book that says some of the most high-ranking Jewish officials praise Satan, that they're Satan worshipers. They called it the synagogue of Satan, bruh. And y'all telling me this man's not wrong for that? The book also quotes the infamous anti-Semitic hoax, The Protocols of Elders of Zion. It includes a laundry list of industries, from banking to book publishing, that European Jews allegedly dominate, before stating, using control of our money and mass media, the European Jews can gain control of our thinking. Elsewhere, the book refers to Jewish-controlled news media. The Nets suspended Irving on Thursday for failing to disavow the anti-Semitism, citing a media session earlier in the day in which he was asked a yes or no question whether he held anti-Semitic beliefs, and Irving only said that he cannot be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from. Now that that's been read, please tell me, black people, where does that say that he was being suspended for being pro-black? He pushed this book that had all these falsehoods about European Jews, basically saying that they worship Satan, that they helped put black people in slavery, basically calling them evil people. And you telling me that's not wrong? You telling me just because the movie's trying to promote pro-blackness, that it's right for putting down European Jews and telling lies about them? Let me ask y'all this, all these people that stand with Kyrie. If, let's just say, Luka or Nikola Jokic shared a book or a link to a book or a movie, whatever you want to call it, claiming that slavery wasn't real and that the oppression of black people for 400 years has been over-fabricated, and that black people have been trying to use it as a crutch or an aid to advance themselves in society faster. If Luka or Jokic shared a page or something like that, I know the black community would be up in arms. Y'all would be like talking about, well, yeah, I've already seen it. People talking about boycott the NBA for Kyrie. Y'all would really be on. Y'all would want Luka suspended. You would want him out the league. And Luka the Don is a bad man. But y'all wouldn't give a damn about none of that. You would just want him gone. Rightfully so. And he should be if he shared something like that. And that's what I'm not understanding. Kyrie, I've looked at Kyrie's interviews. Kyrie never, all he wanted to say, and that's what gets me. Y'all talking about, oh damn, I just broke my wristband. Y'all talking about Kyrie didn't do anything wrong. Anytime you push something that has falsehoods and hate towards another race, religion, anything, which is the no-nos of society, we all know that, then you did something wrong. Like, he's not wrong. Let me clarify. He's not wrong for trying to be pro-black. I honestly think Kyrie wanted to uplift black people when he shared that. I don't think he was trying to put Jews down. I don't think he was trying to label them as Satan worshipers or nothing like that. Hell, out his own mouth in the interviews, Kyrie said and admitted that he was wrong for sharing that. He did not know that it had those falsehoods and claims in it. He said that himself, which lets me know Kyrie, like most of y'all, seen the title and just assumed that it was a pro-black film that only lifted up the fact that blacks were the first true Hebrews and Israelites. And a lot of you have been tricked, just like Kyrie was tricked about that book. And where the problem arises for Kyrie is instead of being, a decent person and having some common sense and stepping back and going to the media and being like, hey, I was just trying to promote my race and my religion and my belief that we are the true Israelites of Israel and we're the true Hebrews. I never meant to cause any harm towards Jewish people or to make any anti-Semitic claims. I did not know that was in the book, and I apologize for that. And I will do further research into things before I share a link to something. That's all he had to say. And Kyrie be playing basketball right now. I think the Nets just beat the Wizards or somebody last night. Hornets, somebody. He would have been playing in that game. It's been simple as that. Y'all ain't like Kyrie getting bullied or something because he promoted a pro-black. That's not what happened. He promoted something that was false. He promoted something that promoted hate towards Jews and falsehoods towards Jews. Basically, what Kyrie did by sharing that book is what the white man has been doing to the black community for years. And you've been outraged by it, where they stereotype us and label us all as thugs and hooligans and killers and murderers. All because maybe in the past, one black man might have robbed a white woman. And so now all of us have to be labeled as dangerous and potentially will rob a white woman. And y'all are telling me that's okay that Kyrie just did that to the Jews? Those quotes that I just read y'all, it's trying to say that high-ranking officials are worshiping Satan. It's trying to say that Jews helped start slavery. It's saying all kinds of things that have been proven not true. And you're telling me Kyrie is wrong, is right for that? He should be celebrated for that? And stop with this notion that they're just trying to take him down. If anyone's been taking Kyrie down over the last few years, it's him. Since 2017, he's been saying crazy shh. He's woke now. He's found a new walk in life, and I praise him. If he wants to, find himself and get into a new spiritual being with himself and all these things, then I am not mad at Kyrie for that. We are our own people. We can do what we want. But we also have to understand that we can't offend other people trying to lift our people up. I'm a Christian, a devout Christian. I don't really want to, get too much into this, but all I would say is, as a Christian, I'm not perfect, and no one is, but I will never go out and put down a Muslim to uplift Christianity. I would never go out and say that the Quran is full of lies and that you should only read the Bible because it shows us the true way to follow God. I never say anything like that because it's not fair. You don't do that. Everyone has their own opinions. Everyone has their own walks of life. And you don't offend other people's religions and races just to uplift your own. And that's what that book did that Kyrie shared. And Kyrie admitted himself that he did not know all of those things were in the book and that the anti-Semitic tropes were in the book. And instead of backing off and just saying, hey, I'm not anti-Semitic, I just shared something that I did not know was anti-Semitic, he wanted to double down and be like, I can't be anti-Semitic if I know where I come from. Kyrie, just say yes or no. What the hell does that have to do with you being anti-Semitic? Just because you know where you come from does not mean you cannot be anti-Semitic. There are plenty of white people that grew up around a lot of black people in dominant black areas that don't like black people. That has nothing to do with anything. And I'm sorry, Kyrie. You just want to be woke so bad. Like, instead of just admitting like a man that you were wrong, you tried to double down on it. That's what got his ass suspended. The fact that he didn't want to clarify that he didn't push anti-Semitic tropes. He didn't want to clarify that he wasn't anti-Semitic. That's what got his ass suspended. Not because he shared a pro-black Hebrews to Negroes, which is not even pro-black. It's pro-black, but it's pushing the wrong facts. Like, and I've had people on social media, even my own family members, tell me that, yeah, why should Kyrie be punished? And this is just a bigger overlying thing. He's a scapegoat. They're just trying to please the people that make them money. Blah 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 blah. Which is ridiculous, honestly, it really is. Let me ask you this, if Kyrie was only pushing to be a beacon of light, as he says, why the hell would he push something without doing research into it himself? He admitted that he did not know, which means he did not watch the movie. He did not do any research into the movie. It means he just seen the title, like y'all, and went off of that. And I've also seen people try to say, oh, well, what about the people that watched Jeffrey Dahmer and shared it, or 12 Years a Slave and all that good stuff? Well, all I'm going to say is entertainment. None of those platforms or movies that people had brung up were pushing that. No one was claiming, like, no one told you to go do what Jeffrey Dahmer did. Like, they didn't promote it as he did a service for America. They didn't promote it like, hey, you should be like this man. You should go kill and murder people, especially blacks and gays. They didn't say that. That's not the same as this movie that Kyrie's pushing or supporting that did make claims and did try to demonize people. The Jeffrey Dahmer movie, only person that demonized is Jeffrey Dahmer, and he deserved to be demonized. I'm just saying. I mean, if you want to say 12 Years a Slave made you feel like that all white people are bad, then that's just you. Because, it was obviously taking place in a different time than we are in today. And I'm not saying that there aren't any racist white people today. There's racist people of all walks and all colors. But I'm just saying that movie doesn't promote slavery. It doesn't tell you to go out and get a slave. Like, so I don't understand where you guys are going for with that. It just kind of seems like a reach to me. And I've seen people try to come for all the people, basically any person that's black. I'm probably gonna be called this too, and I don't care. I stand for what's right, and if that means I'm a coon or I'm a Uncle Tom or I'm missing the point, well, I guess I missed it, because all I've seen is Kyrie promote unknowingly. He didn't do it on purpose, but he did promote hate. He did, and LeBron came out and said he doesn't condone hate. I don't have the full quote in front of me, but he basically came out and said, he loves Kyrie and he supports Kyrie, but he does not condone hate speech, and what Kyrie did caused harm to other people. And it did. It caused harm to the Jewish community. Just like I said, if a white player did something like that, just for example, if Luka or Jokic shared a movie or a book, and in that movie and book, it claimed that slavery doesn't exist, that the oppression of black people for 400 years was way over fabricated, and that black people only use it as a crutch to try to make an extra step in society and play victim, y'all would want his ass out the league. Luka is playing at an MVP level right now. Y'all wouldn't care about none of that. You want him gone. And rightfully so, he should be. So what makes Kyrie different? Because that's what Kyrie did. So why does he deserve a pass? Because he's black and they're out to get him. We got to stop that as a black people, man. When another black person is wrong, they're wrong. It ain't no out to get them. It ain't no, he tried to speak up, so they're trying to silence him. No, it's none of that. Ridiculous. Y'all sound ridiculous. Like I just said, the NBA has stepped up plenty of times and let their players be plenty vocal about pro-black topics, about standing up for black people, about Black Lives Matter, about getting black people to vote. So why the hell now, all of a sudden, they're against being pro-black? That doesn't make any sense. And all these people trying to say, they're just trying to please the big daddy Jews to keep their money. Stop it. Stop it. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. They're just trying to be proactive. They've always been a proactive league. Hell, they just got done. The players in the association just got done condemning Robert Sarver for the things he said. using racial slurs and talking bad about black people. But now they're going to punish Kyrie for standing up for black people? Make it make sense. Like I said, man, this is getting out of hand. I see this too much. Another black person does something wrong that a white person would have did, we would have crucified him. But because he's black, oh, it's okay, and they're out to get him. Like, we got to stop that. And there's no underlying theme here. You're just subscribing to all the conspiracy theories that Kyrie believes in too. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Do I believe that the government tells us the truth about everything that goes on and there's nothing underlying happening? No. But the earth damn show ain't flat. And that's the type of conspiracies that Kyrie subscribes to. He tried to say dinosaurs aren't real. And so now all of a sudden you want me to get in his corner and believe that he really was trying to be a martyr, that he's really trying to be woke. And then the bad part about it is Kyrie did not get suspended for being pro-black. I know that's what y'all keep trying to push. He did not get suspended for sharing the link. Hell, the NBA didn't suspend him. The NBA said Kyrie's allowed to play. You know who did suspend Kyrie? His job. The BrooklynNets, the corporation he represents and works for. You know, kind of like all of us. Unless you're your own businessman, you're your own CEO, which if you are, congrats to you, my bro. I'm trying to get there too. I ain't mad at you. But at this point in time, I work for someone else. And like most of us do. And let me ask you, for all you people that stand with Kyrie, if, you go on your job or on social media, whatever, even if you're off the clock or let's say you're in your uniform, and you say something that can be deemed hateful or hurtful to someone, are you going to get to keep your job with no consequences? We've seen it plenty of times with Karens calling people the N-word on the internet. Y'all go screenshot it, share it up, and guess what? She loses her job. We see these young college teens do black faces. Guess what? They lose their scholarships. It's freedom of speech. They're allowed to do it. They didn't go to jail. But guess what? There's consequences come with freedom of speech. And that's what Kyrie's dealing with right now. He can say whatever the hell he wants. No one's making Kyrie be quiet. He just, you got to deal with those consequences. It's just like any job that you have. If you misrepresent the company and you make them look bad, you're going to probably get fired. And luckily in Kyrie's case, he just got suspended for 5 games. Now, if you want to say that the list of things that they got Kyrie to do is kind of over the top, I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm also not going to agree with you because Kyrie has been at this. He's been causing the Nets trouble for years. And honestly, it almost feels like because they know who Kyrie is, it almost feels like they put all that on his plate just so he will not come back to the Nets because I think they're tired of Kyrie, just in a sports sense. I mean, he did the whole vaccination thing. He took 2 weeks off for no reason because of the Capitol and didn't notify anyone. Like, this is the man y'all standing behind. And y'all wondering why the Nets suspended his ass. Like, come on, bro. The dude's a bona fide, like I said, I'm not saying he's an idiot as in intelligence-wise. Because he's a smart man. He went to a more prestigious college than I did. He probably has a degree. He's a smart man. But he's an idiot in the sense that when he tries to stand on things, he doesn't even do research into them like he claims he does. He's like a lot of you woke people that see a post or you see one thing of someone claiming to know something and you just run with it. Don't really do any research into it yourself, anything like that. And like I said, a prime example of that is he did not even know that the book had anti-Semitic tropes in it and made falsehood claims. He admitted that himself. A lot of you are missing that. A lot of you are missing the part where he admitted himself that the book had anti-Jewish tropes and promoted hate towards Jews. He admitted that. He did, out his own mouth. So I keep seeing people talking about how is it anti-Semitic? What did he do? They're labeling him anti-Semitic. Well, he labeled himself anti-Semitic when he associated himself with that book. Like I was explaining to my wife, because she was like, why is Kyrie getting punished just for sharing a link? And like I said, he's being punished, not by the NBA, by the way, not the organization, by his corporation that he works for. Just like anybody, if you misrepresent your corporation, you're going to be fired. It doesn't matter if you believed you was right. It doesn't matter if you said it publicly. It doesn't matter if you said it while you were on the clock. We've seen this happen numerous times. So why are we confused now? It's just like anybody with a job. If you represent a company, especially when you get on a platform like, and that's the thing y'all are missing. Kyrie has a combined 20 million followers on all his platforms. And he's saying things like this, promoting things like this. It's the same things we dealt with when Trump was out here promoting violence and saying crazy things like that. That incites people to go do these things. And when you have a following like that, you have to be more conscious of what you share and what you promote. And Kyrie wasn't. Simple as that. It really is. Y'all want to make it way deeper than it is, and he's trying to be blackballed, and they're trying to punish him for speaking the truth and all. Stop. Really, you're making yourself look foolish. It's not that deep. It really is. There's no conspiracy theory to try to punish Kanye and Kyrie for speaking out. No, they spoke hateful things about Jews, whether it was intentional or not. And if any race, I believe any race, if they were taught and made falsehoods about, and someone was promoting that, they would want consequences to that person. Simple as that. I don't understand. And then everyone's trying to label LeBron and Shaq and Chuck as Uncle Toms and Coons and all of these things just because they don't stand by Kyrie. And we got to stop that as a black people. Just because we don't agree, and it's not even who's right and who's wrong in this sense. It's just because we don't agree with the standings of other black people, it does not mean someone's cooning. It does not mean someone's trying to save their check. Like, LeBron's a damn billionaire. You really think they gonna hurt his pockets like that? Kanye even came out and said when he lost all that stuff, he still had money. He still had millions of dollars in the bank. Now, he lost a lot of money, but he was not broke. And if Kanye was willing to lose that, then, hey, he stood on what he stood on. But that does not mean you're anti-black if you don't believe in it. That's ridiculous, bro. I'm very pro-black. I definitely stand with our people. Like I said, I also subscribe to the notion that we are the true Israelites. But I'm not going to subscribe to the notion of putting down Jews to get that point across. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say I'm sorry, because it just is irritating. I'm not going to say they go to the synagogues of Satan and they push Satanism. I'm not going to say that. Why would you? Why would you down another person to uplift yourself? That's what people have been doing to us blacks for years, and y'all hated it. But now you want to tell me it's okay to do it to the Jews just because you feel like you were the real Hebrews or Israelites? Come on, guys. We just got to be smarter than that. But anyway, man, I've been talking 32 minutes. I didn't want to spend that much time on this. Basically, in short, to wrap up, man, Kyrie is being punished by the Brooklyn Nets like anyone who has a high-ranking job or anyone that represents a corporation would get punished if you did things to make that corporation look bad or put them in a light of negativity. And then when you don't back down, when you don't say, hey, I was wrong and I apologize and I'm not anti-Semitic, I just shared something that I should have did more research into, and I apologize for that. This whole thing would be over. It would be. And that's what gets me. Y'all acting like it's that deep. It would be over if he just apologized the first time. And the fact that he apologized after the fact lets me know it's not genuine. He is not sorry for what he done. And so, hey, man, I end by saying this. If you stand with Kyrie, stand with him. Me, I've had enough of his black ass. In all honesty, I love him, support him as a brother. I wish no ill will on him. But he just does too much. The earth is flat. Dinosaurs aren't real. The vaccination thing. He tried to claim he was a martyr and that he stood with people for the vaccine. Kyrie was getting paid $30 million to sit on this couch while people were losing their livelihoods. He ain't no martyr. He just wants to seem like that. He wants to seem like he's this woke individual. And it bit him in the ass this time. So, hey, I ain't got nothing else to say. That's just my take on the Kyrie situation. I think it's getting blown way out of proportion. We as a black people gotta stop trying to call each other's coons and stuff like that. And we gotta hold other black people accountable, man. Like I said, if there's a white person that have done something like this towards the black community, y'all won't want to hear nothing about it. You want to hear no explanation. You want him gone. So keep that same energy for Kyrie and the Jews. That's all I gotta say, man. Love y'all. Check out the podcast. We'll be on. We try to be on every week. Sometimes we miss a week. But when we are here, come show us some love. Come show us some support. I love you all. I'm not speaking hate to anyone. If you disagree with me, I still love you. Hey, just be fair. That's all I gotta say. I'll holler at y'all next time, man. Peace.